Kate Made This Vlogmas edition, and also question and answer edition. I don't think I've ever done a question and answer, no. So I got a few questions, so I thought I would answer, and I got a bunch of them in my last couple of videos, so let's discuss. Yeah, usually this is a knitting and sewing podcast, but of course it's Vlogmas, so it's an anything goes. We've done sauerkraut and fire cider and mince pies and fudge. You guys really love my worms. I let them know, so they're very happy. I will do some kind of video in the next week or so maybe, just talking a little bit more about them. And yeah, today is more of a personal question answer. Then I'll do one maybe on the worms and maybe ferments, because a lot of you asked about that as well. So let's go. And I'm already thirsty. Hello and welcome to Emily Kate Made This Vlogmas edition / question and answer edition. So I just recorded this and then realised I was majorly oversharing and not really answering the question, but just blabbing. So I'm gonna try again. And now that I've gone through some of them, I've realised that I had terrible answers, so let's try again. So on my last episode, if you watched, I got a bunch of questions, so I thought I'd do a question and answer, and if you have any additional ones you can pop them in the comments below here, or the comments below on the last few Vlogmas videos, or on Instagram. So let's get to it. Okay, the first question was one that many of you asked, and that was, why am I in Germany? How am I in Berlin? So the short answer is I came on holiday in 2015 I think. I came on holiday with my husband and we loved it, and then we came back again like 3 months later and thought, I want to live here. Or we want to live here. So he speaks German and we thought, let's go. We were both living in Dublin at the time, so yeah. So that is why I'm here. I think we moved in 2016. Pretty sure that's the date. So I've been here a while. That leads me to question 2. Do I speak German? Jein. That's yes and no. I speak a little bit. I understand more than I speak. And yeah, I can't have a conversation. I don't have enough vocabulary and I don't retain the words that I learn. But if someone was speaking to me casually, like a neighbour, I would understand majority, but I don't cope well in situations like the bank or the post office. I don't understand what they're saying, I panic, and then I can't respond. So depending on the situation, and yeah, like I watch the knitting podcasts, I watch Nina, oh my gosh, I'll put her name here, I know Nina. Nina's podcast. She has an English one and a German one, and I watch her German ones. A, for practice, but B, I just want to watch everything she's doing, so knitting. So she's like my German go-to. That doesn't make sense. I really like watching her podcasts. She speaks in a German that, she's Austrian, but she speaks in a German that I understand and I like. And I understand most, I think, of what she says. So yeah. But if you don't speak German, go to her English one, because she's marvellous and she knits all the things really fast. What was the question? Oh my gosh, what was the question? It's probably about German. So yeah, I kind of speak it, kind of don't. Someone also asked, how do I learn? What kind of methods do I use? So when we moved here, I went to German classes in the city, and the first one was awful. The teacher was just hungover, like so cliche Berlin. The teacher was hungover and always wearing sunglasses, and didn't, like, because he was so drunk and couldn't really focus, it was very rubbish. So then I went to a different one and didn't like that at all. I don't really do well in group learning. I work better alone, I learn better alone, or with one other person. So group learning is really difficult for me, but I did it anyway. And then I tried a different one and that went really well. I really liked the teacher, I made some really nice friends. Yeah, that was the best part. I made friends there, they came to my wedding. So when I got to A2.2 for anyone that's learning language, then I was going to start at B1, and it's just dangerous. If you take a break, you don't go back. So instead I used Babbel online. I used that for a while, but it stressed me out because it always made you repeat everything, which is fine, except once you've got to a certain level, you really don't need to repeat hello, hello, yeah, yes. It just really stressed me. And I only ever gave you like one example of certain things, and then I could only understand that example, but not others in the language. Anyway, I went on about this in my last attempt to record, and I just went on a huge tandem, so reining it back in. I'm learning, I'm trying, I practice with my husband, we watch we watch Netflix and movies that I know in English, I watch in German, or whenever we watch a TV show, then I will rewatch it in German. I am trying so hard to read, but it's so hard and boring, and I don't know if it's because I don't like reading anymore, or if I just don't like reading German anymore. I've never liked reading German. I tried reading an English book last year and I just got so bored. So then I tried another one and I didn't like that, and I used to love reading. So I'm wondering if there's like a bad crossover that I've stopped enjoying this. But I read some read some German kids books like Roald Dahl. Well, they're English books but in German. Like Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and like they were alright, but I'm not like thrilled to read them. Then I've got some Agatha Christie murder mystery books because a friend said stop reading kids books, they're really boring, get some adult books, but they're really hard. I find it really difficult to read. I find it difficult to talk, obviously. I find it difficult to read when every other word you need to look up, and then you get out of the rhythm of reading, it gets a bit more stressful, and I'm trying to find it enjoyable, then I'm trying to find it educational. It doesn't need to be enjoyable, it's educational, but then I just get bored, then I get stressed, and then I don't retain information. So I'm working on that. I want to read these books. I've got several German books that I want to read. I'm just not doing it. But I have to. Oh, he's coming out. Hello again. I have been trying to record this video all afternoon. I think this is take 4. I'm not starting from the beginning, but I got interrupted and then I had lunch and I have no idea where I was, so hopefully I can edit out and put together so it makes more sense for you. I think I was answering the question, where did I meet my husband? I think. And does he speak German, was the other question. So yes, he speaks German. He's not originally from Germany, but he became a German citizen when he was 17. Way back when, I used to live in Australia, and I met a friend there, and we stayed in contact. Then I moved to Ireland because I met an Irish guy, and I lived in Dublin for a while. And in that time, my friend got married, and on her honeymoon she actually met my husband and his brother because they were also on holiday in the same place, and they stayed in contact. Then I travelled and I went to New Zealand, and then I came back to England, but I only lasted like a week because I can't stand living in England, and I moved back to Dublin. And my friend, who I met in Australia, who had met my husband, she said, I know someone, you could have a friend in Dublin. So she introduced us. I met him in Dublin, and yeah, then after being together 2 years, 1 year, I can't remember, 2 years, I'm gonna go with 2 years. We were both fed up of being in Dublin, and it was getting really expensive, and I love traveling, so we went to Berlin on holiday, and we both really loved it. And he speaks German, so we moved to Berlin, and I thought I can learn German. It's super fine. I'll be able to do it. I'll get a job, no problem. I've moved around how many countries now? Several countries, and I've never had a problem getting a job, and I was pretty good at school. I learned pretty easily. Germany's been a definite shake-up of many aspects of my life. Definitely challenging. Let's go with challenging. Okay, let's move on from German. Another question that I got about me was, what do I do? Am I a housefrau? And do I do anything other than that? So yes, I do have a small job where I've been working as an online blogger for writing health and wellness blogs. I've been doing that for a company that I used to work for in Ireland, and so I write their blogs, and it's just a small job. I did think when we moved here that it would be really easy to find a job. It is not. I feel like I'm entering a really dangerous zone by talking about it, because I know that lots of people will say you can do this and this and this and this, but my personal experience has not been a success story. One of the main issues, aside from language, which you can get jobs if you don't speak German, my main issue is that they meaning German authorities, companies, employers, basically consider me really uneducated because I didn't go to university, and all of the jobs that I've had aren't skilled. Like, I've worked in hostels a lot of the time because I travelled, and then I worked in hostels, and I worked in shops, in health food shops, like Whole Foods, for example. I worked in shops like that. But here in Germany, you actually go through like an apprenticeship for any jobs that you take, and that you do. And I haven't done this apprenticeship, and you can't really get a job in a shop unless you go through the German system, which I haven't. When I tried to apply for like job seeking help, they didn't recognize anything. Nothing that I did was recognized in their system, and they actually told me to my face, we can't do anything for you because you haven't been to university, your school doesn't count, you haven't had a job that is in our system, basically. So bye. So yeah, I'm a qualified yoga instructor, but it's not recognized here, and it just gets very complicated. You need lots of things that someone who doesn't live in Germany really doesn't care about, so I won't bore you, but it just gets a lot more complicated than it's possible to explain. And yes, I have tried many a thing, and for now I am practicing German and we're comfortable enough. I'm really lucky that we're comfortable enough that it gives me time to gather my thoughts, figure out different opportunities, how I can possibly make more of an income. So yeah, that's a really small attempt. That's my attempt at whittling down the complications of German bureaucracy. So I think I will end that for the questions for today, mainly because I've answered them so many times. I have no idea where I am now in the question list, but I will do some more over the next few Vlogmas episodes. So if you have any more questions, you can write them in the comments below or on any of the other videos or on Instagram, and I will try and answer them for you. Okay, let's get on with the day.